Hello, and welcome to the first year of WWE's ECW, the show where we take a look back at the first 52 episodes of WWE's re-envisioning of Extreme Championship Wrestling. This past Sunday at Judgment Day, the ECW brand had two matches on the card, CM Punk vs Elijah Burke and Bobby Lashley vs Vince, Shane and Umaga for the ECW World Championship. Damn, I never thought I'd see the day that ECW got more than one match on a WWE pay-per-view, so fair play I guess. It's been a turbulent past month for the new breed, no thanks to Straight Edge Phil, who joined the stable on episode 43 and very quickly left after attacking their leader Elijah Burke halfway through a match on episode 45. Since then, resident ECW bloodsucker Kevin Thorne has left the group and tensions have been growing between Burke and Matt Striker. CM Punk defeated Elijah Burke at Judgment Day after countering the Elijah experience and hitting a GTS for the win. You know the drill. Later tonight on episode 49, Straight Edge Phil will team up with ECW original RVD to take on Elijah Burke and Marcus Corvon. As for our ECW World Championship match, Bobby successfully defeated Vince, Shane and Umaga when he pinned Shane after hitting a Dominator. However, Vince informed us after the bout that Bobby is not the new ECW champion because he didn't pin the actual champion. Therefore, Mr. McMahon is still our current ECW World Champion. No need to change that intro graphic just yet then. Time for our first match of the night in Des Moines, Iowa. The monster of ECW, Snitzky, makes his way down to the ring with his minging orange teeth. Over the past month on the series, Snitzky has been mostly just squashing people, including ECW legends like Sandman and Balls Mahoney, twice for the latter might I add. Last week was a bit different though, when Snitzky faced everybody's favourite pothead, RVD.
Smoke weed every day.
Things didn't look great for Van Dam at the start of the bout, but very quickly Van Dam managed to turn things around with those lethal kicks of his. Snitzky wasn't too pleased that somebody was finally getting the better of him, so he decided to disqualify himself when he wrapped a chair around the skull of RVD. Tonight, Snitzky is taking on Tommy Dreamer. Are we about to witness another dominating display from Snitzky that will inevitably make his ECW original opponent look like a right knob cheese? Right, are you ready to be surprised? Yep, this actually turned out to be a decent bout between Snitzky and Dreamer, with both guys selling the match as a David vs Goliath story. Snitzky has the physical advantage, but Dreamer puts up a decent fight against the big guy and actually looks like he has a chance of winning. Obviously he doesn't win, and you had to be expecting that at a minimum, so not quite a David and Goliath story. Snitzky hits Dreamer with a big boot, and it's another win for the monster of ECW. After the match, Snitzky goes to attack Dreamer with a chair. RVD then sprints down to the ring and kicks the chair into the big guy's face to save his fellow ECW original teammate from a post-match beatdown. I've been fairly critical of Snitzky's booking on the brand recently, so I'd like to take this time to acknowledge that over the past couple of weeks, things have been a lot better, and I'm actually finding this storyline / rivalry between him and RVD interesting. Plus, they didn't make Dreamer look like a bellend in this match. That's a plus. Resident ECW bloodsucker Kevin Thorne makes his way down to the ring on his own after the departure of his big titty goth girlfriend Ariel from the company. Hopefully Ariel's absence doesn't distract from the task at hand, as Thorne is booked in singles action against Wyatt Lara. Interestingly enough, they do mention Ariel's absence on commentary, when Joey Styles suggests that Thorne really meant what he said a few weeks ago when he wanted to fly solo from the new breed. Unsurprisingly, Thorne beats the absolute crap out of Wyatt Lara. Wow, I didn't see that one coming. Presumably by using all that pent-up frustration of being abandoned by his hot goth girlfriend. Kevin Thorne then hits what Joey Styles dubs Original Sin and picks up another victory in the Solo Vampire Tour. Backstage, Burke and Corvon are deep in discussions before being interrupted by the runt of the new breed litter, Matt Striker. Burke says,
"Striker, I don't want to hear from you right now. Me and Marcus are talking strategy. Right here I have someone I can trust. Someone I can depend on. Unlike you, man, you caused me to lose at Judgment Day because of your inability to get the job done. Tonight, you have a match with one of the Major Brothers. Now listen, man, my patience is wearing thin, so it would be in your best interest to go out there and make it happen. Because if you don't, you and me are going to have a problem."
Striker assures both Burke and Corvon that tonight he's going to get it done. Former social studies teacher and new breed member, for now, Matt Striker makes his way down to the ring to take on one half of the Major Brothers. Woo woo woo, you know it, it's Brett Major. For those that are unaware, 3 weeks ago the debuting Major Brothers picked up a massive win, or should I say major win.
Oh brother, this guy stinks! Nice.
against the New Breeds Marcus Corvon and Matt Striker when one of the Major Brothers pinned Striker after a crossbody. Since that defeat, Striker has been on Elijah Burke's shit list. Let's see if Striker can, as he puts it, get the job done tonight against Zack Brett Ryder Major. This was another decent bout on ECW, which is something that I didn't think would ever happen on the series. 2 good matches in a row. Trust me, it's fairly unheard of around here. Although it was an even contest throughout, Matt Striker lives true to his word in the end about getting it done, when he hits his finisher on Zack Brett Ryder Major and gets the win. Next, we get a recap of last night's episode of Monday Night Raw, where former ECW champion Bobby Lashley was tasked with running the gauntlet if he wanted to face Vince for the ECW title again at the upcoming One Night Stand pay-per-view in a couple of weeks' time. Lashley successfully run the gauntlet, defeating the likes of Chris Masters, Viscera, and then Umaga via a DQ. Just when the former champ seemed defeated, he hits his final opponent Shane McMahon with a spear out of nowhere to pick up the win and secure a title shot against Mr. McMahon at One Night Stand. It's main event time, folks. Are we going to get a hat-trick of good matches tonight on episode 49? Let's see as everybody's favourite pothead, RVD, teams up with Straight Edge Phil to take on the New Breed team of Elijah Burke and Marcus Corvon. For the most part, this was an average tag match, with the majority of it consisting of Burke and Corvon wearing down ECW original Rob Van Dam, who desperately needs to tag in Punk. Eventually, RVD gets the much needed tag, and then Punk proceeds to go to town on his former stablemate Elijah Burke. And you know how these matches go, so I'm sure you can guess what happens next. That's right, Marcus Corvon gets his team disqualified when he hits the pounce on CM Punk in the ring, because he's not the legal man. Haha, bet you didn't see that one coming. Me neither. RVD then attempts to stop the beatdown on Phil and also gets hit with the pounds. Elijah Burke and Marcus Corvon then celebrate in the ring and stand tall over a beaten down Punk and RVD. This was a fairly solid episode of WWE's ECW. The ending to the main event wasn't great, but at least it wasn't predictable, so I've got to give it that. Better suggestion for an ending? Striker comes out and either costs the New Breed the match or helps them get the win. That could have worked, but like I said, I'm just glad the ending wasn't predictable. We had some solid singles action in this episode, from Snitzky vs Dreamer to Striker vs Brett Majors, and several storylines on the brand are moving in the right direction, and most importantly, keeping me entertained. I think ECW has enough going on to put together a semi-decent card for One Night Stand, but they'll probably find a way to f that up, won't they? Not really anything super negative, but I would like to see Thorne put in a serious rivalry soon, as I have stated in previous weeks. Him beating jobbers week in, week out is going to get old real fast. I'm going to give episode 49 of WWE's ECW 3.5 out of 5 stars. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.